talk. Y'all, since the last time that we were here last week, Tuesday, Jimmy Butler has been suspended twice. Since we were here last week, he has been suspended twice since we were last here.
Mm-hmm.
He was suspended Wednesday, the day we released the episode, for 2 games. He came back, went to practice. They said, hey, by the way, we going to put Highsmith in the starting lineup. You come off the bench, Jimmy. And he said, and walked out of practice. And then they suspended him again indefinitely. This came yesterday on Monday. So he is out at least 5 games, which takes them through the trade deadline. And before all this, I thought there was a world in which, because Pat Riley is so stubborn, Jimmy Butler is so stubborn, I thought, hey, what if he don't get traded? And they just play it out for the rest of the season. They deal with it in the offseason. But now we're hearing Miami has come down on their asking price. We hear that he's been suspended indefinitely, at least 5 games, which takes you to the trade deadline, which really makes me think he's going to get traded before this deadline.
Although I am now rooting for that outcome where he doesn't get traded. Like, I want to see how far each side is willing to take this.
I think they both willing to take it very, very far.
I tweeted y'all. I texted y'all yesterday. Like, they're having an asshole off, and and like, I don't see either one of them backing down.
Yeah. So my question is, where do y'all think Jimmy goes? Like, what's the landing spot for Jimmy that, with everything you've been hearing, rumors going around, where do you think he actually lands at this point?
I feel like Phoenix is impossible at this point.
Impossible? Because of Bill not wanting to go to Chicago?
Because one, nobody wants Bill, which I do want to clarify one thing from last week, because like I was going really hard on it, and like I don't want to say like Bradley Beal isn't a terrible player. Like, I don't think that he's worth the contract that he's being paid, and his contract has a no trade clause, which then makes it tougher to retrade him. Like that was my. I don't want it to seem like, because Bradley Beal, like, if he was making like $20 million a year, like, sign me up, perfect. But he's making twice that, so
2.5 times that. Man getting like $55 million. He's a top 5 paid player in the league.
Yeah.
Coming off
top
the bench.
5.
Top
crazy.
5.
That is.
Top 5.
That's crazy work right there. That's crazy work.
No, thank you. But like, he's not terrible.
Bradley Beal to Milwaukee rumors unified this fan base in a way I have never
like
seen.
no other.
Everybody was like, hell no.
Fuck you doing?
No.
Every Bucks fan far and wide, except for one soul I saw who commented on our actual YouTube clip of us having a Bradley Beal discussion, saying that our argument was false because Bradley Beal would have help behind him and he wouldn't be that bad defensively.
He got help in front of him.
And my argument to that was, you saw how that happened last year when the Bucks didn't have
somebody, and they just had somebody funneling them to the paint.
But they didn't have no one. That was the problem. When you have poor point of attack defenders, they weren't escorting nobody nowhere. The offensive player saying, "I'm going here," and then Malik Beasley and Dame was just following them wherever they. All right, cool, we can go here.
Where we going?
And then Brooks standing there like, "Okay, I got 2 people here at the same time." It wasn't the way it was supposed to go. But that's neither here nor there. Jimmy Butler.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, how do we start talking about Bill? Yeah, I don't think that Phoenix can find a way to get rid of Bill or Bill being willing to go wherever they want to send him to facilitate that. It sounds so. Brian Windhorst today, like, and he's very specific about the way that he words things. So,
yes, he is. Put the fingers up.
Yeah, when he says that there are teams that thought they were out of it that are now jumping back in, and he said that they were old, that they were middling, and that they were desperate. Like middle of the pack, and that they were desperate. Like, to me, no offense, Ken, but that spoke to Milwaukee. But they've been in it the whole time. They've been in it the whole time. So I'm like, that's not a team coming out of left field.
Oh, Lakers.
It's either the Lakers or the Warriors.
I think Warriors probably came back on that list because from the comments that like Steph Curry was saying of like, don't mortgage our whole future for a desperation trade. If it's not the whole future, just a little piece of it now. Is that more palatable for Warriors management, for the team itself? Like, I think it could be. I still think that the Grizzlies is the spot that I don't know why he's so adamant against going there. Well, I do, because he ain't gonna get paid. He wants to get paid. It's not even about basketball. It's just about the money. But like basketball wise,
which is funny because he's losing hella money trying to get out of there.
The Grizzlies would be a good fit for him
because he's just gonna recoup it in the next contract extension.
I mean,
he hopes.
Like, if you think you got a max coming, like, you never gonna get the $5 billion or whatever he's lost so far back, because you can't get paid more than that.
What about you two? Were you thinking about Jimmy?
For Jimmy?
Jimmy Landon.
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Shit, me neither. I'm
Like real talk.
I don't.
Yeah.
Okay, let's swing it this way. I mentioned both your team. Like, if your team was in a position to get him, would you even want to bring him on at this point, given everything that he's been through?
So that's Bucks for Tim,
And
Lakers
Lakers.
for Ken.
Yeah, Lakers, I wouldn't. I wouldn't mind it. Yeah, we figure it out.
Because I think it would have to be like Rui, Reeves.
Reeves, nah, fam. Like, that's, nah,
Yeah.
nah.
I think it would have to be Rui, Reeves, Vanderbilt, and somebody else.
Oh, hell no.
That makes like 10 million. Not Schroeder.
Yeah, he gone.
Schroeder would have to be on
Yeah.
the Warriors.
The Warrior
trade.
side of it.
I forgot. Gabe Vincent.
I don't know Reeves, man. AR, that's our dude, fam. I'm sorry, Jimmy, but
It ain't worth that.
no, it ain't worth it. AR been putting up 30s, fam.
And like for the Bucks, obviously, it got to be Chris, Bobby, and Pat.
See, that make more sense for y'all.
No, I'm sorry. I'll let Tim answer. Sorry, zip my
Like-
mouth.
If we're trying to push our chips in this season and really fight for it, sure. I don't know how he would get paid here though. Like, if his desire is to get paid,
I mean, Jimmy Haslam is our owner. Like, he see a big name, he gonna do what he needs to do.
Marquette,
But-
he got the ties and everything.
I'm still currently honestly against, like, I'm cool with the team as is. Like, I've said that last time I think we had a trade conversation. Like, if we don't do nothing, I'm cool too, because now everybody's starting to click. They trying to figure it out.
y'all looking good
We're
right
starting
now.
to get rotations right. Like, I'm cool if we just chill. Now, if we went after another big, sure.
Thank you, Tim.
But other than that,
An
nah,
additional big or replacing one of the bigs we
we
have?
probably have to replace Bobby. Which would,
And I'm fine
I
with
would.
that.
I'm a fan of Bobby. It would suck, but if it's for the betterment of,
I feel like the context of the team has changed to where like Bobby doesn't fit the same way he did when they needed his
I
offense.
still feel like he do, because he come off the bench, he get his buckets, hit the turnaround
The
fadeaway
rebounding
joints.
is like one of the more helpful things that Bobby
That too, because
brings to the
we
table.
really bad without him. So we still, that's why like we would need another big, and we feel like, I've always felt like we've needed like a defensive, let me grab these boards, block these shots, athletic as shit rim runner to help us out.
It's hard to play them with Giannis. Like, I think that's the drawback.
But they would be, we're also looking like a backup big or like a supplemental spot gap big, because
yeah, but like
Brook is our big.
think about the way that Bobby plays. Like, Bobby's utility is that he can play with both Brook and Giannis. Like, if you bring in another athletic rim runner that can't shoot, like, I don't think that you can necessarily play them a lot of minutes with Giannis the same way that you do Bobby.
Which I would think that you would want to play, like in Bobby's minutes, a lot of them are played with the backups, though, aren't they?
He splits because Doc, I was gonna say Bud, Jesus. Doc loves to have two bigs on the court at all times. So
Right.
like if Brook's not out there,
Then it's
it's Giannis and Bobby. If Giannis
Right.
ain't out there, it's Brook and Bobby.
Or Brook and Giannis.
It's a combination of them two at all times for the most part. So like, and he only has a 3 big rotation.
Yeah.
So if he is bringing in another big to
They have to
replace
be able
Bobby,
to
they
shoot.
are going to have to play with Giannis, which is why my little like, if the Bucks could do this, I'd be interested. Jalen Smith in Chicago. Jalen Smith, a young big, shoot a little bit. He ain't Bobby Portis, of course not. Ain't too many bigs that gonna give you buckets the way that Bobby do. But
Honestly, I think you need to take that club out of Doc's bag in the first place. Like,
the 2 big club.
well, no. The from that spot, we need somebody that we can just dump the ball to and go give me a bucket. It's like, that's not an efficient play. Like, the fact that y'all do it with
Oh, with
Bobby
the
is
post
bad
up,
enough.
yeah.
Yeah, like,
But he can get outside of just that. But he can still go get you. He can spot up. He can
Yeah.
get you buckets in so many different ways.
I just
but-
don't know how he holds up in the playoffs.
Jimmy Butler to Milwaukee, though, I'm good.
I thought you were like reading it off. I'm like,
Yeah.
like your energy just changed completely. I'm like, wait, what?
Sorry. No, I'm not speaking that
Breaking
into
news.
existence. No.
Breaking news, surprise, motherfuckers.
I think that if the Bucks make wholesale changes to their roster, it should happen in the offseason. I don't think that the Bucks should make those moves at this deadline, especially when you look at last season when they make the trade for Damian Lillard right before training camp. The team wasn't really constructed to be a team to operate around Dame being your point guard. I think a lot of the offseason additions made more sense if Drew Holiday was your point guard, because you had that point of attack defender. Malik Beasley next to Drew Holiday sounds a whole lot better than Malik Beasley next to Damian Lillard. And this particular offseason that they just had, I think they did a lot of moves that made the team make a lot more sense around Dame and Giannis. You see the chemistry between Dame and Giannis growing. Chris is coming off the double ankle surgeries. I can understand people who have concerns about how Chris will be able to perform come playoff time, especially given the contract that he's being paid. But I also do think that in a few months' time, and Chris looks like he's playing the second half of back-to-back tonight against the Blazers, I think that what Chris can give you is still going to be a better fit for this team than what Jimmy Butler can give you, and not just on court with the playmaking that Chris adds, but also just the locker room camaraderie aspect of it, the attitude aspect of it. Because if you tell Chris, hey, you can come off the bench for a while here, as we see, Chris is like, cool, I'm gonna do that.
She said to Jimmy, he walking out.
Exactly, and getting suspended again. So I'm not willing to take that chance of messing up the chemistry in a year where I think this already is the last year of this current construction of the Bucks if it doesn't work out anyway. So like, let them get their season to see if they can do it. If not, off season you make some changes at the trade deadline. The only thing I really want the Bucks to try to do is get that like athletic type of big, if possible, or find a way around the margins to add like another shot creator or something like that. But again, not Zach LaVine level of shot creation, smaller scale, someone who's making, around, how much Pat Connaughton make? $9 million, or Bobby, about 12.5, somewhere in that range is where I stand on it. So we'll see what happens with Jimmy, but
I think, to just put a ball on it, like, I think I would rather, I don't want to say this. I think I would rather lose with the team that we have than win risking, like, it on Jimmy.
I think that's fair.
Because also, like, I like to be able to root for the team that I root for. And Jimmy's a jackass. So, like, I don't know. Like, I don't think I would enjoy rooting for that team as much.
No, I hear
as
you.
I do this.
I don't want to do all that, give up the assets for a rental.
Because who's to say they don't ask for AJ Green?
Hold on now. Hold on now. You know how Ken just stomped the ground on AR?
Wait.
Hold on now. We ain't talking about AJ at this point, but no, we'll see where Jimmy lands. We'll see if when we come back next week if he's already traded. Because next week we come back to the studio, it will be
2 days
February 4th, 2 days before the deadline. So we'll see if Jimmy's been moved. And if so, we'll be reacting to where he has landed. And if not, we'll be speculating some more about where he goes. I still think Memphis is a good basketball fit for him. I think Houston makes some sense. But I also think with the way that Houston has been playing recently, I could see them being like,
I mean, they've been saying that
cool.
all year.
Like, we cool not making no major moves this year. We going to see what our guys got, and we going to run from there. So we shall see.
Who he gonna play for?
All the teams just who wants this contract? Okay. Let's go ahead.
I was just gonna say those hella teams coming back out of the white where it's like, oh, now the Sixers might be in, and
I did see that.
Not Memphis, Minnesota might be in.
I did see that too.
It's like, okay,
That'd
one
be
week just go. It's the running back tour.
Yeah, I was just gonna say,
Going
like,
off of that.
for the run back, all right.
I mean, everybody who Jimmy had a problem with in Minnesota gone.
Yeah,
But Anthony Edwards and Jimmy Butler, they would either get along really well,
Or they hate each
that's
other.
what I was gonna say about the Warriors. Like with Draymond, it's like either they gonna,
yeah,
best friends, or they gonna be fighting.
They definitely gonna be fighting.
mid-April.
And then for Philly, that would just be a Paul George, Jimmy Butler move then.
Which that helps nobody, honestly.
It just shuffles the deck on the chairs a little bit.
That's stupid.
But maybe Embiid would play more. You know what? Never mind. We're not even gonna go down
Maybe
there.
he'll play more. That's
Yeah, I was say like any sentence that starts with that is like,
Oh,
Yeah, no, we ain't. We'll move on.